Hello, this is Sam from ValueTech Academy. In this video, I will discuss one of the most common SQL programming interview question, finding duplicate records in a table. For more SQL interview questions every week, subscribe to our channel. Also, we have a free SQL course to help you practice SQL using 30 scenarios. Link provided in description. You can check it out. So let's go to the interview question now. So the question is like finding duplicate records in a table. So today what we will do is we'll discuss this interview question with the help of a requirement. So if we let's take a requirement to find the people having the same first name. So let's use this requirement to solve our interview question. So for this, let's go to this sample database AdventureWorks. So this is a sample database for the AdventureWorks Cycles company. And if you want to know how to get this particular data set, we have provided a link in the description. So you can check it out to get this data set. So let's go to the tables. So let's query this table person because like we need to find the people having the same first name. So all details regarding the person is in this particular table. So let's query this one. If you see this table, you have like many columns and we have this first name and last name columns. And for this requirement, we are interested only in this first name. Okay. So let's rewrite this query so that only this first name column is like displayed. So this is the required column for our requirement. So here in this first name column, right, we need to find people who are having the same first name. Okay, so let's solve this interview question using three ways. The first way is going to be using the count function. So let's see this one now. Let me copy this query. And now like we are going to use this count function on this column, this first name column. So this count first name function will return the number of first name. So like if there is Kim repeated n number of times, it will say how many times this particular first name is repeated. Okay, and we are going to group this by the first name. So let's see what's the output. Now you can see more than 1,000 first names are there, and you can see each names how many times it is repeated in the database. So if you see this name Gustavo, there is like two records for this, and if you see like a Henry, it's like 25 there. But our requirement, if you see, it is to find people having the same first name. So it should be like a more than one. So people who has like more than one first name, it means like we are going to find the people having the same first name. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll use a condition called having. So this count, we want more than one. So if any record is like more than one, obviously it means it's like a duplicate record. So what we'll do is like use having count function, this name, first name. If the count is more than one, we are going to return this only those records. Okay. Now you can see here this particular first name is like repeated two times, and if you see this one Henry, it got repeated 25 times. So it means there are like 25 people with the same first name, right? And if you see there are like two people with the same Gustavo as first name. So let's verify this now. Let me just copy this. Okay, and let's check the whole records. I mean all columns. Let's see here. So let's see for Gustavo now. So you can see like there are two people with the same first name, Gustavo. But if we go to their last name, it's like different, totally different. So there are like they are two different people, but having the same first name. So let's see another record. So let's see Henry. So it means there are like 25 people with the same first name as Henry, but if we go to their last name, that is totally different. So you can see we found the people having the same first name. So in this way, you can solve this interview question, that is to find the duplicate records in a table. So this method is using count function. So now let's discuss the second method now. In this method too, we will be using the Windows function. So we can use either lead or lag. Let me show you how to use these functions now. So let me get this original query which we used earlier. So here we are going to use a case statement, and what we are going to do with this lead statement is like, let's take this lead statement first. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we are going to get this first name. Okay, and then we are going to compare the first name with the next value to see if it is a duplicate or not. So for that purpose we are going to use this lead function. I will show you now how can we do it, and for that we are going to use this case statement. Let me write this statement and I'll explain you now. Okay, so here if you see, we are going to compare this column values, first name column values, with the next record. So for that we are going to use this lead function. So what happens is, for every value it is going to check the next record. So to check the next record we are going to use this lead over the column name, and here over means it's going to order this result set by in an ascending order. So the for this particular first name column we are going to order this in the ascending order, then we are going to apply this lead function. So that's what here it means, lead over this particular value. So this is the result set for on which we are going to apply this lead function. Okay, so here what happens is, when a value is checked with the next first name value, and if it is the same value, then we are going to say yes, it's a duplicate. If it is not the same value, then we are going to mention no. And finish this case statement with an end keyword and give a column name for the output. So let's see here what is the output for this query. Okay, if you see here, for this particular value, okay, a dot, it's getting compared with the next particular value using this lead function. Okay, using this lead function, it's getting compared with the next value, and both are same, right? So what happened is it displayed yes. So that's why we are seeing here, yes, it's a duplicate. And if you take this particular value, okay, so it is being compared against the next value, next record. So this is not same, right? So this is a dot Scott, this is a dot. So what happens is it gets displayed no, because this else condition got executed. So the same happens like over the records. If we go for this record, a dot Scott, okay, so it is getting compared with this particular value, and it is like not the same value, right? So it's getting displayed no. So that's how like we can use this lead function for this particular interview question. And if you try to use the lag function, what will happen is it will compare with the previous record. So let's see now. So instead of lead, suppose if you're using the lag function, see what happens is this particular value is getting checked with the previous record. There's no previous record, so it says like it's not a duplicate. But again, if you come to the second a dot, it checks with the previous record using this lag function. Okay, so what happens is it checked with the previous record and found it's a duplicate value and it mentioned yes. So if you see this arrow, right, if you see this particular value, it is getting checked with the previous record, and this is not the same, both are not same, so it's getting displayed as no. But if you see here the fifth record, it gets compared with the previous one and it is a duplicate, so it's getting mentioned as yes. So here you can use this lead function or lag function for the same requirement. So this is how we can use this Windows function for this particular scenario. And let's see the third method using which you can solve the same interview question now. The third method is going to be using the Cte method. So Cte stands for common table expression. So let me show you how we can use this for this interview question. Let me get this original query once again. So what we'll do here is, before applying the Cte concept, let's give a row number for each of these names. So if we go here, for each of these names, right, we are going to give a row number. So I'm going to use a function called row underscore number for this particular case. And over, so we are going to say like over which particular result set we are going to apply the row number. So I'll show you now. So here partition by means we want to group these names, the first names together. So that's why for grouping them together by the first name, we are giving the keyword partition by, and we are going to order them in the ascending order. So just give order by the first name. Okay. So if you see here, what happens is, for we are going to apply this row number function over this result set. So that's what this particular syntax mean. From here to here, the syntax means we are going to apply this row number function on this particular result set. So what will be the result set here is, we are going to partition, that is we are going to group this first names together and then we are going to order them in the ascending order. That's what this particular statement means here. So let me run this so you can understand in a better way. Okay, so if you see here, what happened is, for this first names, right, like A dot and A dot, it got like grouped together using this partition keyword. So what happened is, it got grouped together and then a row number is applied to them. So if you see here, these are got together grouped and you can see 1 2 for this particular A dot. Okay, and if you go to the third value, A dot Scott, it's the only record there, so only one number is applied to this A dot Scott. Okay, and if let's see the next one, if you see the arrow here, what happened is, using this partition by and order by this particular statement, right, it got grouped together, all this arrow, it got like in the ascending order together, and for this arrow, right, a separate new row number is assigned. So here if you see, for A dot Scott 1, and then it didn't start with 2. For a arrow, it again started with number 1. So if you see all the way down till here, it's given a new row number, right, till 56. So that's what happens when you use this particular function row number over this result set. So this is the output we got here, right? So now next we want to apply this Cte concept here to this particular query. So it start with the syntax with, and you can give any name. Let me give a name as Cte1. It can be any name you can give as. So this is the syntax. And this is how, like, we are going to use this results. Okay, whatever result you get from this query, right, so that will be like going in this particular Cte. So you can consider Cte as a temporary holder of a result set. So now if we want to like call this particular result set again, right, so what we will do here is, we'll just use this select star from the Cte name. So the Cte name here is 1. So Cte1. Okay, so if you run this one, okay, so here if you see what happened is the same output you are seeing here. There's no difference if you run this one. See the same you will see if you run this. See, because the thing is, we didn't do anything. What we did is we just got this result set, whatever like this query like gave an output, right? The output we collected here in this CTE, and now we are just like displaying the results from this CTE using this particular statement. So the select star from the CTE name. Okay. Now coming back to our requirement, we need to find the duplicates. That is, we need to find people who are having the same first name. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just add a condition here where row num, the column name is greater than 1. So what it means here is, so if there are like more than one, okay, one record, so we are going to only get those particular records in this output. Okay, if you see here in the output, so for a dot, we have this row num 2, and for more than one, that is like around like more, if it is more than one, only those records got displayed. From 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can see all records, more than one record is getting displayed. But what we want here is, so we don't want this repeated names, right? We just want only those names alone. So we'll give a distinct here, just give distinct column name. See, now here what happened here is, only those names, okay, those names which are like repeated, the duplicate names are getting displayed. So these are the names which are like duplicates in this column first name. So let's verify this. Let's use this query which we used earlier. So I just like use this go statement because like it was showing some errors, right? Because it was considering this whole statement together. So to break these statements, I use this keyword go. So now you can see this errors gone. So let me verify this. So let's take some example. Okay, let's take this and see if it is a duplicate or not. See, here you can see this first name twice, but the last name is different. So these are the people having the same first name. And let's consider some other record. Let's consider this Aaron. See, so Aaron, like it's repeated more than once. So these are the duplicates values in the first name. So using this three ways, you can find the people having the same first name. And if you understand this concept, you know how to answer this interview question, how to find the duplicate records in a table. For more SQL videos and SQL interview questions like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching this video.